figured out exactly who I was almost immediately, and they were serving me like MILFs wearing cowboy boots and Texas hats. So they kind of
Oh, they
knew
know
where I
you,
was
yeah.
from. And then they started serving me even weirder shit. But they like got into my brain almost immediately. I didn't subscribe to a single person, and they pegged me. It was scary.
Wow.
Yeah.
TikTok is those algorithms are on every social. It's so funny because
Yeah.
people always like bring back the feed where we can just see things chronologically. Like, that's what we want. It's like that's not what you want.
No,
These
you want
algorithms
that.
plug into your fucking brain
And
like
now on
crazy.
Twitter, you have the two feeds side by side, and you get to see just how boring the chronological order of
everybody
your
always
friends
says
is.
bring it back. Nobody wants that, bro. These companies, like
Yeah.
I know guys that work. You don't want chronological feeds. You want them,
But it's
tailoring
something
content
different.
to-
So, but previously it was like Hollywood, CBS, etc. They gave you a message, and it was a kind of top-down system, and you can manage society this way. I think the algorithm is doing something different, and I'm not sure I even quite have the words to describe what's happening, because it's getting into your head. It's like finding out the fantasies you wouldn't even admit to, because it could tell how long you look at the video.
Yeah.
I don't know if
there's
it's
even for like
tracking eye
on
movement.
YouTube. I don't know if you guys have figured this out yet. Subscribers don't actually matter that much anymore. Like how many subs a channel has,
Right.
because most people's content that they watch is just on their suggested page.
Right.
And whether or not you're subscribed to somebody doesn't even necessarily guarantee that a video is put there.
Right.
It's dude, I remember back in 2008, 2010, like the way to game shit was to like hide keywords and like the header of like your HTML for like the web page and shit. Everything is so sophisticated these days in terms of how stuff figures out, and there's so much.
Right.
There's so much content. Like if you wanted to watch a fucking podcast, like you can follow like maybe 3 or 4 or whatever, but like there's like a million hours of every fucking show that's released all the time, and it's harder to find those monumental releases that everybody
Right.
used to look forward to. The new fucking Radiohead album, the new
Right.
fucking Kurt Cobain, the new fucking Pink Floyd or whatever, going back further, the new Beatles shit. Because there's just so much shit.
And that's why when it comes time to elect a president, it feels kind of ridiculous. It's like, oh, so we're all supposed to agree on 1 or 2 people at this point?
Yeah, maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
Jews.
Right. But yeah, but this is a huge problem. I think also with the algorithm, there's that question of, is it figuring out your fantasy, or is it kind of incepting something?
Telling you.
Yeah, because I was actually joking with this friend of mine, because we were talking about this exact subject, and I was joking. I was like, why is it giving me all these advertisements for gay cruises? You know, it wasn't actually, but you know, yeah. But there's that, it's figuring out some inner fantasy, but there's also that notion of it's incepting something into you. And so
Possibly.
it's giving you the fantasy, and that's something that Hollywood was really able to do. It certainly did it for me with all these, Indiana Jones and E.T. and all that kind of stuff that I still love. I mean, it was able to kind of give you new ways to dream, and I'm wondering, like this algorithm, it's doing it very differently. You don't go sit down for 2 hours in a movie theater that's collective with your parents maybe, or a date. You're just scrolling.
Yeah,
It's
because everything
5
is so
seconds.
overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
it's really hard for a lot of fucking Zoom. Bro, I had a girl that I was talking to, this 23-year-old girl, and she asked me the question, or I think I asked her about like, oh, like, is there, I think it was something like, what kind of movies do you like, whatever. And she's like, oh, like, I really like the Prestige. Have you ever seen that movie or like the clips? And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Have I seen the clips? I was like, what the fuck do you mean when you say have I seen clips of the movie? You're either asking me if I've seen the movie or not. And like for a lot of Zoomers, for a lot of people like 22, it's hard to even get them to sit down and watch a full movie, let alone like without your cell phone. Like,
She's
holy
kind of
shit.
adapting that from us though too, because anytime you watch a debate or a Twitch conversation or whatever, there'll be a conversation about some piece of content, and somebody will say, "I've seen a couple clips. I didn't watch the whole 3-hour thing or whatever." So she thinks that it's normal to say that.
Yeah,
about
to see
a full
clips
length
of shit.
film,
I
which
know
is
what they're going to
hilarious.
clip out of what I just said.
Sure, yeah. Which is part of what I like about my channel, because I still have like the full 2 or 3 hour videos rather than like, but yeah, I mean, now I've gotten into the TikTok game and YouTube Shorts and like cutting up short
Yeah,
stuff.
well,
and
it's kind of a
everything.
weird feeling even doing podcasts these days, because you kind of know that they're going to get more views on TikTok than they ever are on a platform where you're actually being paid for it.
Although, to be fair, that those views mean less. I'd rather have 150,000 views on a YouTube video than 1 million views on a TikTok clip, because I know that the type of engagement, I mean, one, you get paid more for it, but like the type of engagement is a much bigger buy-in from those 150,000 people versus the TikTok people that just like scroll, you know?
Very true. And it's supposed to be good for your amplification and everything, but a lot of times you wonder.
Yeah. Hopefully like if I get like 10 million views on a TikTok video, I hope I've driven at least like I guess like 50 or 60 people more to like my long form
Right,
content.
I can see it sometimes where there's a clip where a girl said that she wanted to get shit on, and that was many years ago. And every once in a while, it'll pop up on TikTok and get 10 million views, and then I'll go back and look at the original VOD, and people manage to find it, and like 10 million views will equal out to like an extra 50 to 100,000 on the
Yeah.
actual YouTube video, which.
Or you see like big TikTokers will have like 1, 2, 3 million followers, and then they'll try to stream and they get like 50 viewers.
Yeah, it's
because
a,
the conversion
streaming
is, like,
is
so
a
crazy,
much more dedicated
Yeah,
connection.
there's no story, there's no narrative, and I think that's a very interesting change in culture where you're